No amount of holiday gatherings or gifts make up for neglecting your health and mind. Having experienced both magical and deeply painful holidays, one thing I know for certain is this: cherish the loved ones you have connections with regularly while they are here, present, and still have the mental and emotional capacity to share life with you. Unexpected life changes and or losses don't wait for the right time. There are no guarantees about what each holiday will look like or whether the people you once shared them with will still be around, physically or mentally, the next time. This holiday season, I want to emphasize the importance of caring for your overall wellness, your body, and especially your brain. Death is not the only way we lose people. Mental and emotional decline, untreated struggles, and long-term neglect can take someone from us while they're still alive. While some health challenges are unavoidable, much of our wellness is within our control if we choose to tend to it while we still can. The moment self-neglect becomes a pattern and years begin to pass, loss quietly starts, not only for you, but for everyone who loves you. Loved ones can be pushed into a sort of premature grief. I've noticed it's common for some parents to use their age or stage in life as a reason to dismiss the possibility of growth, especially when toxic patterns have been named by their siblings or their children, adult children. Listen, learning from one another goes both ways. Age doesn't always determine knowing better in all instances. Sometimes kids notice things you don't. Caring for and nurturing yourself does not have an expiration date. Watching someone slowly neglect themselves year after year affects the entire family system. The best gift you can give your kids is the gift of taking care of yourself and living a healthy life. You are never too old to change, never too old to learn, to educate yourself, to take a class, or to try something new. All of these exercises are for the brain and the soul. Be honest with yourself to recognize when inner work is needed before avoidance, denial, or unresolved pain turns into lifelong trauma for those around you. Change is uncomfortable, and there's no way around that. The only path forward is through it. And transformation is always possible. Again, it's never too late. The consequences of not changing what you could have changed are much harder and sometimes irreversible. The longer you wait, the deeper the impact on the people who care about you. Listen, no amount of holidays or gifts can compensate for years of ignored mental health. Neglect eventually becomes toxicity, and that toxicity can lead to misery, distance, and even estrangement. Holidays will come and go, but the people who touch our lives are here until they aren't. May you value and enjoy people and moments over things. And remember, one of the ways to express that is to take care of yourself, because in the end, it's never really the things we remember, it's the impact someone had on our lives, how they made us feel. So ask yourself, how are you making your loved ones feel? And what impact are you leaving behind? If you are struggling this holiday season with the loss of a loved one, make sure you also find supportive spaces for your grieving, whether it's through therapy or a grief group. I understand how it feels when you lose a loved one. It changes you, and in some ways you will never be the same. But don't forget that you have other loved ones in your family, whether it's your partner, your siblings, or your kids. And if you get too stuck in grief or depression, it will make your family feel like not only did they lose that loved one that you're all grieving in your own way, but then they may feel like they lost you as well. Again, I highly recommend therapy or joining a grief group. I actually do both of these things. It's easy to feel alone when you've lost loved ones and or if you've lost them in an ambiguous way, which can complicate the grieving process. You are not alone, and there are other people that are also carrying the weight of the losses of loved ones. Even through the loss, it's okay to grieve, it's okay to have ups and downs, and grief comes in waves. But one of the best things you can do for yourself is yet still to take care of yourself. I lost my dad and my sister, two close loved ones, to an ambiguous loss. This has impacted my entire family and has changed everyone in some ways. While we have all been grieving in our own ways, I have experienced two sort of long goodbyes, if you will, with my dad and my sister. They are both still living, but completely unrecognizable, and it's something that I never would have imagined. And that's why I wrote this piece, to try to encourage others to take care of themselves and to enjoy one another while you're still able to. While some things, as I mentioned, are unavoidable, there are some things that you can take control of in your life. Things like reducing stress, taking loved ones seriously when they mention that they think you may benefit from getting help for your mental health. Once upon a time, I never knew that there were other forms of grieving aside from something that is clear, like death. A slow, ambiguous loss for a loved one is one of the worst pains that I've ever experienced in my life. The trauma of seeing a loved one being full of life and fading to being unrecognizable. Little by little, I saw these things chip away at my dad and my sister. Do miss them dearly. Death is not the only way that we can lose or grieve loved ones. We can start grieving them sooner, especially if they neglect themselves and their health or their mental health, or make poor decisions that affect their lives, which in turn affects their loved ones' lives. So if you're able to walk and talk and move and do things like better yourself or go to therapy, go to support groups, listen to your loved ones when they bring up concerns or patterns, take them seriously the first time, because seeing a loved one decline like this is emotional torture.